In today's video, we're going to take a look at some random monster generation using tables from the Tome of Adventure Design. So, grab your dice. Let's roll. Hey friends, I'm Brian at Jacoby, and today we're going to take a look at generating some random monsters using tables from the Tome of Adventure Design, Chapter 2. So this chapter is a long one, so like 100 pages, and it has lots of really great tables that create a wide variety of new and interesting monsters of different types. So this I find to be helpful for situations when you have a table full of gamers who have been playing for a while, and maybe they understand how to keep the trolls from regenerating. Maybe they understand, the traits of different kinds of constructs or elementals, things like that. And you want to kind of spice things up. You want to throw some surprises at them, and you want things to feel unique again. So that is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be rolling up on some tables. We'll create about 5 monsters, and I will create a poll for you to vote for which monster or monsters are your favorite from these random generations. So check the link description down below for a link to purchase the Tome of Adventure Design from DriveThruRPG, and also for a link to the poll that I create. If you go back to my previous video, there's a link in the description there as well, where you can go vote on the locations, missions, villain plans, and minions that we rolled up in the first episode of this series. So let's flip the cameras around, swibbity boop, and here we go. So, Chapter 2. Monsters. This first page just kind of talks about, you might prefer rolling up some unique monsters and then base part of your adventure, your campaign, your one-shot, your encounter on that monster. We're just going to get into rolling these up. I, of course, will clip out a bunch of the parts where I'm just rolling dice and calling out numbers. And as you see here, just like in the last video, I've got Tome of Adventure Design up here on the left and my trusty Google Doc on the right. So here we go. Monster number 1. The first monster type that we're going to be dealing with is a giant. Second monster type is going to be verminous. Our third monster will be an elemental. Monster number 4 is a humanoid. And monster number 5 is a beast. So for each of these different monster types, there are separate tables where we roll to kind of find out what are some descriptions of these monsters. What are their special attacks, special defenses, stuff like that. At the beginning of each section for the type of monster, there will also be a bit of text that talks about what each monster type represents. Where do they show up in folklore? Things like that. And sometimes there are some ideas around how you can differentiate your creation from sort of a typical example of that monster type. So we have giants. So it gives a little description about what this looks like in different types of folklore. Are they solitary? Are they tribal? Are they connected to the spirit world? Things like that. So let's roll on this table. Our giant is guarding a magical location willingly. All right, so I'm going to add these as bullet points under my monsters. Let's see. Next, we have giant's physical appearance. So on our first table, our first description, our giant has skin that is stretched tight. And another feature, our giant has claws. All right, the next table under giants is for magical abilities. I'm going to roll on this table because we determined earlier that our giant is guarding a magical location. So maybe because it's guarding this magical location, it's been infused with some sort of power. So let's take a look. The magical power is that it can shrink to human size and form when desired. Maybe it can pose as a human when it needs to, and then back to its normal giant size. All right, now we're going to take a look at our verminous creature. So verminous creature, usually small, trash collectors of a dungeon, stuff like that. We'll roll up some physical properties. And so our verminous creature, this first piece is fun. It is a sleep-inducing roach, or sleep-inducing roaches. That's a great deal of fun. I can't think of many times that I have encountered a sleep-inducing roach in an adventure. And now we'll take a look at special features. Our sleep-inducing roaches stalk prey over a long distance, waiting for the right time to attack. And the next table on our verminous creatures list is the type of movement system that our verminous creature uses. And our verminous creature infests moving monsters. That's how it moves around, rather than crawling or flying or whatever else, the normal ways that roaches might move around. That's frightening. So these sleep-inducing roaches, maybe they cause people to fall asleep, and then they infest the body. And as the larvae grow, the infested creature begins to get ill, and then the larva maybe burst from the skin, something like that. That's pretty creepy. All right, monster number 3 is an elemental type. So let's see what's the social strata of the elemental that we have here. All right, so our elemental is a servant to some other creature. And let's take a look at the body form. Our elemental creature is incorporated into an item, like a genie in a lamp. And let's take a look at the plane of origin. An elemental that originated on the plane of poison. It's incorporated into an item and it serves some other intelligent being. And let's see, how do we bind this elemental creature? It is bound by bargaining a sacrifice. Must be offered. All right, conditions in elemental region. Conditions on the elemental plane or element in the elemental region where this creature is from is that it's plotting against old enemies, and that's how it conducts all interactions on the prime material plane. Maybe it is seeking to usurp the control of whatever is currently controlling it. Those are all of the tables for the elemental. Let's move on to our humanoid creature. For our humanoid creature, the first table for our humanoids is physical characteristics or physical structures. So the first portion is animal characteristics. So I rolled, and we have roll once on table 2-2, which is a separate table related to beasts, and then make the result bipedal with arms and opposable thumbs. So let's kick back over to table 2-2. We start out by having a humanoid with a mammoth body form. All right, so we end up with a mammoth man. So that is pretty cool. We'll go back to our humanoids section here, and now human modification. So on this roll, I give it a human head. I don't like that. I'm not going to give it a human head. Because this mammoth form, I like the idea that it's going to have a big mammoth head. So I'm overruling this roll. I can do that. Next on our humanoid table, species overview. It has an alliance with related beast type. Since we've got this mammoth-headed humanoid, it has a relationship or an alliance with mammoths. That makes sense. And let's take a look at how it relates to other humanoid species. And this species, or this creature, is part of a raiding party. So maybe we have a group of these mammoth men who have been conducting raids on local villages or towns or whatever else. And that is the last table for the humanoid creature that we have here, and we're going to move on to beasts. So with beasts, basically we're going to take, first we're going to get a starter image for the body type, then we're going to move on to mixing attributes of other creatures, and then we'll kind of play around with filling in details. The special attacks, defenses, and defining attributes, that's something that we will apply to each of these monster types in a moment. All right, so first up, we're going to roll to see what kind of animal this beast is. And this is going to be a baboon. All right, and the second column of this table, basically what the suggestion is that we can roll on this table and then take some attributes of that second roll and apply it to the first animal type. So I'm going to roll on it and see what we get. All right, on my second roll, we have deer body form with antlers. It's a herd animal, a fast runner, hooves, spindly legs, and herbivore. I kind of like a baboon with antlers would be kind of interesting. But instead, I think we'll leave it off. We're just going to leave this just a plain baboon. All right, now we get into table 2-3 is folkloric shape adaptations. So we have the head of one beast, body of second beast, wings and or forebody of a third beast, griffin or hippogriff type. On second thought, I think I'm going to take that one off too. I kind of like just having a baboon. It's just a baboon type. And it'll have some additional special attributes when we get to later tables. All right, method of obtaining food. This baboon is a carnivore. All right, so that works. Baboons are omnivores, as far as I could tell with a quick Google search. And let's take a look. Abstract food. What does that mean? All right, so abstract food. The roll that I got here basically says that our carnivorous baboon is going to eat luck. So it eats the luck of characters. Maybe that means that that it creates disadvantage during any interaction. Or when bitten by our baboon, that creates a disadvantage for some number of some number of rolls. All right, next we have the reproductive strategy of our creature. So it bears live young and keeps them in a pouch until older. So kind of a marsupial type of situation. So that rounds out our descriptions for our 5 monsters. Now we're going to roll on another set of tables to find out about the special attacks, special defenses, attributes, stuff like that for our monsters. We start off with, first we're going to roll to see how many physical attacks, how many special defenses our creatures get. All right, for our giant, we have head and body attacks, 1 special attack. And for our special defenses, we're going to get 2 special defenses, 1 distinctive attribute. All right, so let's roll up our head attack and see what kind of attack this is going to be. So that's a 50. Oh, a spiked headbutt. And body attacks. So here we are. It constricts and crushes using its body. Okay, and let's find 1 special attack here. Special attack delivery method. It casts a spell. Kind of going along the lines of our giant is protecting a magical location, and so it imbues this creature with some special powers. All right, so that's the delivery method. Now let's find out what is the actual attack. Death or progressive attribute score loss. So this might determine sort of what level of encounter we create, depending on how serious we want to make this death or progressive attribute score loss or death by way of progressive attribute score loss. If we set a high target for the save, that's going to be very tricky, but still pretty interesting. Okay, now let's roll up our special defenses. So special defenses and abilities. The first one is transform self into energy form, air vortex. Our second special defense, it has a signature body part, which is a gem. And one distinctive attribute. Distinctive attribute is that it's associated in some way with bandits and brigands. All right, so that's the physical attacks and defenses for our giant creature. Let's back up and do the same thing for our verminous creature. All right, so it has head and tail attacks, but no special attack. All right, and special defenses. It has one special defense and two distinctive attributes. All right, let's check out these tables. So first up, we have a head attack. All right, so our little roaches have two horns, apparently, and one tail attack. It has a club-ended tail. All right, and no special attack. So let's go on to our special defenses. One special defense is that it creates illusions to distract attackers or divert attacks. And two distinct abilities, or two distinct attributes. The first one is that it is symbiotic with a particular type of insect or animal. Maybe that ties into its mobility. And our second one uses materials or surroundings to camouflage itself. So that is our verminous creature. Up next, our elemental type. All right, physical attacks for our elemental. We have a head attack only and 3 special attacks. And the special defenses, 1 special defense, 2 distinctive attributes. Okay, it has antenna and 3 special attacks. So up first, special attack delivery method is to spray in a cone. Let's see, what is the actual attack? And the attack is an ice blast. And our second special attack is speech. And the attack, movement prevented, like a hold person or something. All right, now let's look at our special defenses for our elemental type. So it has 1 special defense, and that is it can turn incorporeal. And 2 distinctive attributes. Our first one is that it's a flying creature. And our second attribute is that it's associated with revenge, which makes sense based on the idea that it is plotting against old enemies. All right, next, our mammoth-headed humanoid. Physical attacks has a head, limb attacks, and 1 special attack. So let's take a look at our head attacks. All right, mouth bite with mandibles. I might change that later to reflect that it's actually a piercing type with the tusks. All right, and we have 1 limb attack, and that is to trample. Okay, that works. Giving the monster type 1 special attack. So our delivery method is mental power against 1 target, and this is a fire attack. I forgot to roll for this guy's special defenses, so let's see what we've got. All right, 2 special defenses and 2 distinctive attributes. So 2 special defenses. All right, our first one is it's improved or restored by fire attacks. All right, that works out well with the fire damage that it causes. And our second, it turns into another type of animal or creature. So it becomes a mammoth. Maybe that's where it gets its trample ability. All right, 2 distinctive abilities or attributes. All right, 36, fights in highly organized units. So that fits in well with the idea that it's raiding other villages and things. And it is associated with a particular type of gem. Can detect them or is often found with them, can craft them, etc. All right, there is our humanoid creature. Now on to our baboon. All right, our physical attacks. It has a head attack only and no special attack. And our special defenses, 2 special defenses, 2 distinct attributes. All right, let's go and roll up our head attack for this baboon. All right, so it has facial tentacles that grab. So that's kind of fun. Facial tentacles grab a victim, bite, sucks the luck out of our target creature. And it doesn't have any other special attacks. All right, let's take a look at its special defenses. Up first, it shifts planes. That is fun. And it takes half damage from non-magical weapons, making this a very difficult task if we are looking at it at low levels. All right, distinctive attributes. It has sergeant-type leaders, lieutenant-type leaders, and captains, all with more hit dice than the normal specimen. So maybe it's got a tribe of baboons. I keep wanting to say bamboo. Baboons, who act in a sort of militaristic fashion. Second attribute is that it can see through solid objects. All right, now we have 5 unique creatures randomly generated using the tables available in the Tome of Adventure Design. There will be a link in the description box down below where you can order this from DriveThruRPG. There will also be a link to a poll where you can vote on which of these monsters you want to see statted out and your preference of game systems for these to be statted out in. I am going to be doing this for Pathfinder 2nd Edition, but if I get enough votes for Pathfinder 1st Edition or Dungeons & Dragons 5e or 3.5, I'll also stat out all of the content for this adventure design using that game system as well, just because it's fun and I like doing that kind of stuff. So take a look in the description box down below. Hit like and subscribe. Add some comments. What did you think of this video? How do you think some of these monsters might function? If you had to take some of these templates and kind of put your spin on it, what would it look like in your game world or at your table? So that's it. Until next time, friends. Like I said, hit like and subscribe. I appreciate that. I appreciate you. Until next time, roll well.